Hey there, sign of Libra. This is Kim here to do a next 3-day outlook for you. We will pull 2 from the tarot deck, the Uncommon Tarot, as well as I'll clarify with the 108 deck, other tarot, and then I'll pull an oracle card from the White Light Oracle to close out your reading. I hope you're doing really good. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's see. That candle might be on its way out, and I probably should have just started a new one anyway. So hang out. I knew that was going to hang on 1 second. While I grab a lighter. Okay. Right. Okay, you can set your intentions with that candle too if you would like. That might help. What you intend to manifest, what you're wanting to manifest for yourself. Hey, Spirit. You have for Libra. And thank you all for reaching out to me for private readings. When you do that, I just have a lot of gratitude and thankfulness. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And then thank you just for being here, your energy. The reason that I do these, 2 of Wands, focus, alignment, and paths and possibilities opening up. What do I have? The 2 of Coins and the 5 of Wands. Oh, let me explain too. The next 3-day will start. It's not a timeless reading because it is from the point that you view it would be your day 1, and then it does go linearly. So in that sense, it's timed for you, not timeless. Oh, God. Sorry, there's a bug on there. So I just flipped it off onto the floor. That's great. I'll get it. So yeah, it's a mix of those. That's how I would like it to be. 2 of Coins and the 5 of Wands is, it feels like we're juggling a lot. I'll be honest, because the 5 of Wands is with the, trying to stay in the moment here, but there's a lot going on. So we'll clarify what is going on or what it's talking about. I mean, it can be when we're just doing so much, feeling kind of scattered here because like major multitasking going on, I think, and balancing. All right. Okay. Day 2, patience with some sort of news that's going to come to you. It is good news, but have divine timing is at play. I know we hear this, but patience with that because something is, being worked on in the background, you could say, by your spirit team. And so it's going to take time. There's like many moving little parts here, all connected to you receiving some sort of communication that brings about really good news. Might be about this path or possibility. Spirit is saying try to stay in this now moment as much as you can the next 3 days, because you have something beautiful here that's forming, and so you'll want to keep your focus even in the midst of energy that makes it very hard to keep our focus. So it's a task at hand. All right, your day 3, I have the 7 of Cups and the Page of Swords. This might be some news that you were wanting to hear. This might be the news coming in. As it usually does mean that it may be something that offers you a variety of choices or options. Now with the 7 of Cups, it's important to say that they're not exactly all clear, and that there's a real big need to choose wisely here. That's another card I would like to get clarification on. So 2 of Coins, 5 of Wands, 2 of Coins, 5 of Wands. Can you tell us more about that? No, okay. Now you've got 2 cards that say hang in there. We know something is taking time. And to have patience. Have patience while you're hanging in there. You're in transition, obviously, with this waiting period with the Hangman. Give me another card. The Queen of Swords. Okay. 3 of Cups reverse on the bottom. Okay, that kind of goes along with the Queen of Swords, because I would think the Queen of Swords, she communicates her boundaries and sets healthy boundaries with other people so that people don't cross them. She's really good at that. The way that she communicates is upright. It's really great. It's a clear, intelligent energy coming from you. Now, in regards to some sort of people that might be even involved in this like competitive nature, or I mean, it can even be like a group of people around you, but I wouldn't even consider them friends. Or if they were friends, there would be a reason for you to consider using that Queen of Swords sword to energetically separate them from you, at least until we can figure out why it's in the reverse. You know, why is there strife associated with a group of people or with some people? I don't know. But the communication there, if that's strong, and I see it being strong, then that's really good. 8 of Cups is in the reverse. I'm doing day 2 now with the Alchemist, which is Temperance, which is a perfect balance here. And okay, and the 8 of Wands. They wanted me to talk about that. Are you? Okay. So I have the 2 of Pentacles in the reverse, the Fool in the reverse, and the Devil sideways. And these all apply to this right here. I'm positive of it. Because there is something here. This is going to be very general, and I apologize for that. It's just the way that I'm having to do it, with having not necessarily being love or business or career. So I'm going to have to do it all and say that there is a fear of separating from something that has so much control over us that it is distracting us from being able to either fully be present in the now moment, or to be able to juggle things, maybe such as money and finances. These can be different types of fears, things we're attached to, or actual addictions or vices. That something that this devil has, there's a fear of setting that. But the ironic thing is, when it's in the reverse, you absolutely know that something isn't going to be right for you anymore, or that something is not satisfying you on a very deep emotional level. And you know that the 8 of Cups needs to be upright, that you need to be well on your way, leaving this other stuff behind, whatever it is. So there is something tied to this. I can look at this a little bit different, because I know I've got different people coming to these readings. So I could look at this different and say somebody might be returning, and I don't usually get that from the 8 of Cups reverse. I don't really like to focus on it, you know, because, but in this case, I would say that not only is this devil energy maybe stopping you from being able to live in the now present moment or to balance things, but it may be closing us off to the next part or the new start of a journey. Now, at the same time, if somebody is returning, and I'm sorry that that's going into a different storyline, but it is, if somebody wants to return that is a very unbalanced person, and especially if it has something to do with money, or the fact that if you and this person were together and it just was really off balance every time you all were together, there may be some sort of like thing that is toxic that this person does, or some sort of negative type energy that they pull with them and that could affect you. And I feel like you just don't trust this person with the Fool in the reverse and wouldn't want to accept somebody back. So because I just see you being like such a patient person here on the whole, of waiting on some sort of news. Once the news comes in, it's gonna have a, like if you're setting off a, you know, they're showing me dynamite, and then they're showing me that long line. It looks very long to where you have to go, but once you light it, it's pretty quick, isn't it? And so that's what they're showing me in my mind's eye as for a picture. And I have heard that described as Cupid's arrow. I would agree. It can be communication with the love thing. It can be a communication with whatever it is. It feels like you're going to be aligned, and it will be a pathway. Oh, okay. So the reason why I even said all of that with this devil energy is because the Seven of Cups is here. And the Page of Swords is here also. So there might be something that your body is trying to communicate with you or to you about regarding choices. And it can be things such as food. Very important, right? Very important, the food, from the foods that you put in your body. Definitely when you eat more fruits and vegetables, your mind just works better. You think more clear. You're quicker. Mental health always improves too. It improves with it. So I don't know. It's just like there's something here about listening to what your body's trying to tell you about choices. And then these can even be choices of the people that we surround ourselves with. The choices that we make when we invest any kind of emotion into something or someone else. What is that choice? It's a mystery. Because I have the Seven of Swords reversed in the Moon. Maybe not such a mystery. There's a strategy at play here. There's an exit strategy. Look, for some of you all, there's an exit strategy at night. Releasing the past. And there's going to be a victory. So these choices shouldn't be hard for you. If this news is something else about maybe work or something like related to that, it's going to give you a chance to move on from some sort of disappointment. And you have the wise discernment. So it's like nobody's pulling the fast one on you. You know what I mean? Nobody's able to do that. You have a victory. You're victorious here. And yeah. And it's all really because you chose this energy, your energy. Just decided I'm going to live in my energy with the Queen of Swords. And it reminds me of Isis. Isis was something that she was known for was speaking aloud what she wanted to have done and then it happening. She was skilled at how she worded things. The spoken spell is what I would, how I relate to Isis, because the very few things were actually even found about her. A lot of stuff we've just, over the many, many, many years, we've just written about, but when really we didn't know too much about her from the actual time of her. There are plaques, there are things like in Egypt that will say what she spoke aloud, commanding usually an army of dead, right? I don't know why I'm going into that Isis thing. I really have no idea. And my mind just went off to, maybe that's so scattered. My mind just went off to that topic. You're a skilled speaker. You are somebody that is able to, I guess what they're trying to tell me is at the root of what I'm getting at, it's about speaking aloud affirmations. You probably get your point across better than I do. It just takes me a while. It takes me a while to figure out how to say it. But you know what I mean. there's a power. There's a very strong power associated with you here. It's your clarity of your mind, your intelligence. Libras, I mean, you probably already know this, are known for being people who have a wide perspective. They have a giraffe perspective, able to see the bigger picture instinctively, not something they have to critically think to make themselves do. They just do it. They just always are kind of worldly view. In that sense, you can find Libras to be very ethical people. Trustworthy. And so here we go with you and your wise discernment. It's a gift. It's a talent. So let's see what the 108 Oracle has to say about this stuff and this maybe good news. Maybe tell me about the good news. And then we'll pull from the White Light Oracle. Because you definitely have news coming in. That's a big one. There you are. Your own card came out. The Sword and Scales. Truth, justice, due process, by the book, appeal, balance, make amends, law, integrity, cut to the chase, fair and square. We were just talking about how I felt like you all are very ethical. Like that's your quality. That's one of your traits to me. Legal matters, hear me out. Balance, though. It's about balance because it laid on top of temperance. So it is about the balance. Something that is happening now. Well, I have choices and options on the bottom with the 7 and the convertible. Okay, we just haven't gotten the message yet or the news quite yet. What's happening in winter? Have something happening in winter months, or it could be associated with the season or person associated with Capricorn, Aquarius, or Pisces. But you have the 9 to 12 months. I'm wondering if that could be a contract coming in for a duration of 9 to 12 months, or something that's going to be very prosperous for this amount of time, or when something is coming into full manifestation. I guess I'll have to get another card on that. But something here is happening now. And of course, if you're trying to get pregnant, then that literally is like a 9-month card. And you would have a victory also. Flag, achievement, yeah, victory, recognition, overthrow, success, winner, conquest, mastery. Oh, maybe this for some sort of mastery too. Bragging rights, plans are coming to fruition. The Well. Oh, there's something to look deeper into. Isn't that interesting? We have the Tap. Well, it's the Sap card, but we have the Tap for the sap, and we have the Tap for the water. We have something that's about to come into flow state for you. Yeah, I mean specifically, look at that. The spigot, I don't know what else you would call it. A spigot, a faucet, definitely that I would call a tap. But wealth, essence of life, it says, yeah, life force and flow. It feels like flow. But there is something to go deeper into. And it could have to do with like this, because it says community, you know, the 3 of Cups that we saw in the reverse could have to do with that. And here's the Anam Kara. Unconditional love, romance, soulmates, uncommon bond, devoted, always tenderness, timeless, constant affection, best friends, appreciation, unchanging and infinite love. That's interesting. So I have the Urn card. They can represent death and loss and dealing or grieving It was in the reverse, so it might be something that you're still in process of grieving through or grieving past an ending. I don't know if for some of you it might have to do with a person of fire or fire sign, a Leo, Aries, or Sag. Could be something that is in the process of, it may be this person that's wanting something not to end with you, but like I said, there's just something here about a change of state, it says. A change of state. That's with blinders. They're saying that this is about your trail here. With the moon, this is about you being on this trail and keeping your focus, because you will have enough light here. This feels very mysterious, what you're about to receive in a very gentle way. From the divine feminine energy of the moon. So in a very gentle and mysterious way, you will be going on this path that will have just enough light for you. So it will be like you're walking with blinders, if you want to say it like that. So instead of being afraid, then of having fear or anything like that, or feeling like you're out of touch, then just know that it's supposed to be darker on the sides so that you can hyper focus on what you're doing in this now present moment, on your path and only your path. Like, I feel like it's saying to block out the distractions. And I have a big yes. I'm coming into a better experience. Yeah. Coming into a better experience. Yes, and a rainbow might be significant to you. Also, if you have seen one recently, or, I mean, you just might like rainbows a lot, but, you know, I relate it to the promise. So, the great promise. The universe is going to provide. Let's close out with this White Light Oracle and see what they want to say. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what they were giving me, is that there's this gentle path for you to go on. Gentle. Focus only on what you need to immediately. Yeah, focus not on the fear, unless it's to say, oh, that darkness is just there so I can focus on that light that I need in my immediately in front of me or around me. I have Deer of Delta, and this is about that gentleness. So, it says, without any force, you can overcome even extreme negativities. Your real nature is gentle, which is powerful in its own unique way. You do not need to become something you are not. You can confidently and effectively invoke spiritual protection from the light. You can never be dominated or bullied at a spiritual level, because the real you is always empowered and protected in the light. Nice. This oracle brings guidance that the healing that you need cannot come from logical sources, but requires a deep letting go and restructuring from within. Yeah. It encourages you to call for spiritual intervention with complete confidence in the grace that will instantly and consistently be bestowed. Your strength and power can flow from your spiritual connection. If you have been advised to toughen up, then you are encouraged to instead remain true to yourself and find the strength within. Oh, nice. This went right to it. Beatitude of sacred rapture. Let your true self be seen. Search for the deeper spiritual purpose and opportunity for healing beneath conflict and suffering. If you have been in pain, this oracle brings a message of a joyful breakthrough. Your soul is growing stronger, more able to have faith and wisdom than in judgment or doubt. So commit to your spiritual path and know that you are making progress, even if things seem difficult for a time. Know that any difficulty is part of your healing and that you will successfully move through it. Trust yourself. Oh, oh, I love that. Rapture is the astonishment, the sudden intake of breath in response to an inner realization of something beautiful and beyond description. It tears us out of our misery and despair and plugs us into an electrical current of enlightenment, and the darkness is cleared in an instant. So the moon is your rapture, is what I would say. All right, I'm sending you love and light.